Now, from the Low Country's news leader, this is Live 5 News.
Photos from deputies show the conditions inside a Berkeley County home where kids were found locked in a room. Deputies say 7 kids lived in the house on Patriot Lane in Somerville. The parents of 5 of the children have been arrested and charged. Here they are. Diana Salbon and Eric Perez Vieira face 5 counts of unlawful conduct toward a child. We have team coverage this afternoon. Caitlin Stansel talked to the woman who first called authorities about the home. But first, let's start with Lillian Donahue. Lillian, a lot of new and disturbing details came out today.
Yes, so investigators came into this house just a few hours ago to speak with the remaining people here. And from the outside, this house looks like it's well manicured, but it's a very different story on the inside. Investigators tell me that there were 12 people living in this house. That includes 5 parents, 5 adults, and 7 children. Now take a look at where most of these children were staying. According to the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office, 5 children ages 1 to 9 years old shared one bedroom filled with animal and human feces and trash. That room also had a deadbolt on it. Deputies say there were small animals inside the room where the children were staying, and in every room had cameras. Now the couple charged were subleasing 2 upstairs bedrooms. Also in the house were 3 adults and 2 other children. Neighbors say they've noticed many people coming in and out of the house at all times of the day, but it was an inspector that helped get the word to deputies. Now the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office wants others to keep their eye out for unusual situations.
When they see these kind of situations where things might not look right, you know, you have people coming and going all times of the day and night, and large numbers of people living in one residence, something may be going on.
Now the couple charged is going to bond court tonight at 6:30. All 7 children that were living inside the home are in the care of DSS. Reporting live in Berkeley County, Lillian Donahue, Live 5 News.
All right, Lillian, thank you. The home where those children were found locked in a room was being rented through a property management company. And as Caitlin Stansel found out, it was the landlord who reported what was happening to authorities when she used the National Human Trafficking Hotline.
While the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office says they do not believe that this is a case of human trafficking, the landlord for the house on Patriot Lane says initially the horrific conditions inside suggested that it could have been. Natalia Matika is the property manager for the Berkeley County house where children were found locked in a room and living in filth. She told me she was the one who initially tried to report the living conditions to Berkeley County Sheriff's Office, but was having a hard time getting in touch with a detective. It was then, she says, she turned to the National Human Trafficking Hotline, and she believes authorities were quick to respond after she took that step. While she didn't want to show her face on camera, she told me it was an inspector who worked for her that saw the conditions firsthand.
Just the description of the environment that he presented, I didn't know what it was, and with children being involved, that's just, I guess, paranoia that jumped in.
The landlord told me there was one tenant actually on the lease and that the property undergoes 4 inspections per year, but she had never noticed any issues with that home, even during the last inspection back in June. From Berkeley County, Caitlin Stansel, Live 5 News.
A Georgetown high school student has been arrested after deputies say he brought a loaded gun to school. The sheriff's office says while interviewing the student in the principal's office, investigators found the loaded pistol during a pat-down of the student. Deputies are investigating a report of threats made on a school bus. They say all students are safe this afternoon and they haven't found any other threats. The Kershaw County Sheriff's Office says this deputy hit by a distracted driver in a school crosswalk this morning is out of the hospital this afternoon, thank goodness. Video shows the moment a driver plowed into Deputy Chelsea Cockrell. We want to warn you, it is graphic, this video is, and hard to watch. Here it is. This happened at Lugolf Elementary School just after 7 this morning. You can see the SUV slam into the woman, the deputy throwing her body. The driver admitted he was looking at his cell phone instead of the road. route. The sheriff's office says the deputy had blue lights activated on her patrol car and was wearing a bright yellow reflective jacket when she was hit. They posted the video on Facebook warning people about the dangers of distracted driving.
People are willing to compromise safety for their conveniency. They're in a hurry to get from one place to another, and they're willing to do whatever it takes without worrying about anybody else or without worrying about what could happen from their poor decisions. We could have had a deputy died. Had it been a child at a lower level to the ground where he could have been struck in the head, similar thing, we could have lost a child this morning because somebody wasn't paying attention.
The sheriff says other than a few bruises and scratches, his deputy Cockrell is fine and already at home recovering. One person has died in a mobile home fire in Berkeley County this morning. It happened on Leisure Drive right here in the Somerville area just before 10 a.m. 4 fire departments responded and got that fire under control within 15 minutes. Another person injured in the fire. We're still working to learn the name of the person who died. Well, that comfortable fall weather continues outside right now here in the Low Country. We've got plenty of sunshine as we take a live look outside right now. Chief Meteorologist Bill Walsh in the First Alert Weather Center. Bill,
yes, sir.
A warm-up for the weekend is on the way.
Yeah, it's going to be warming up a little bit as we head into the weekend. Nice and comfortable right now, as a matter of fact. 74 in town, 75 Mount Pleasant, Somerville, 73. Goose Creek at 74. Not bad out in beautiful Monk's Corner now at 75 degrees. First Alert Super Doppler Max showing a pretty quiet weather situation all across coastal South Carolina. A few scattered clouds along the coast. We had a couple of showers trying to move onshore, but for the most part, everything is looking pretty good. So as we go hour by hour, by 6 o'clock around 73, 7 o'clock 69, just a few scattered clouds. By 8 o'clock upper 60s. Even by 10 o'clock a little later on tonight, if you're going out, maybe you're going to take a little ride or go out with the dog a little later on, about 64 for that last walk of the evening. Coming up for us right here in about 6 or 7 minutes, we're talking about your weekend, right? Oh yeah, we'll have all that right here. It's only a day away. So stick around. What about that drive home? Stephanie Simon, how we doing? It's First Alert Traffic.
Hey there, Bill. We do have a few accidents to talk about this afternoon. The first one on the map on 26 westbound. This is near exit 209, the Rivers Avenue exit. Keep that one in mind. Busy spot this time of the afternoon. However, it's not causing too much backup, which is good news. Also an accident on Red Bank Road right at Fanwood Road, but that's about it in terms of actual accidents. Of course, we're slow going though. Along the Downhole Bridge, this is 526 westbound. At least things are moving, but barely right now. We'll continue to update these and have more with your drive times coming up in just a few minutes.
This is new at 5. The Charleston County School District considering a plan that would eliminate the partial magnet status of 3 West Ashley schools. That status goes to schools with a specialized program and lets students from other areas attend it. Rob Way live at West Ashley High right now, where parents have a chance to give their feedback on these proposed changes tonight. Rob, the proposals would affect hundreds of students who go to these West Ashley schools.
Bill, the proposed plan would eliminate that partial magnet status you were just explaining to 2 middle schools here in West Ashley and an elementary school. Now, this is a recommendation that has a number of changes that would have effects all over the district and could be voted on by the school board as early as Monday. So that is why this is one of the last opportunities for parents really to voice their opinions before a vote is taken. West Ashley Middle School, which has a focus in advanced studies, would lose its partial magnet status should the plans move forward. The students who go there may also be changing as the district looks at possibly rezoning this school. And they're not alone. Under the proposed plan, students at C.E. Williams Middle may also be rezoned, and the school may lose its partial magnet status. Now, that school has a focus in creative and scientific arts. The third school to lose its partial magnet status would be St. Andrews Elementary, which focuses on math and science, though all current students under the current plan would be grandfathered in. The session here at West Ashley High starts at 6 o'clock, so I will certainly be staying here and we'll be bringing you more updates as the later newscasts come. Live here in West Ashley, Rob Way, Live 5 News.
All right, Rob, thank you. Before officials break ground on the long-awaited International African American Museum tomorrow, they'll have a worship service tonight to celebrate. It's happening at Mother Emanuel AME. There will be music from the Charleston Area Justice Ministry Choir. That service starts at 6:30 tonight. Anybody can go. You don't need a ticket. We'll have live coverage of the event starting at 6 right here on Live 5 News. South Carolina has plans to improve dangerous intersections in our state. Goodness knows there are enough of them, but it comes with a $13 million price tag. Some of the solutions they have in mind. State transportation officials are in charge of more than 200,000 intersections here in South Carolina. Now they're working to make the ones with high crash rates safer with a new safety improvement plan. Jason Raven joins us now live in Columbia. Jason, you're at one intersection that has a pretty high crash rate there. It's high on the priority list where you are.
Yeah, Bill, it's actually number 2 on the list, but I'm here on the intersection of Colonial Drive and Academy Street, and as you can see, it's pretty busy right here behind me. Now, this is one of the handful of intersections across the state that the South Carolina Department of Transportation is taking a look at to see if they can make safer. Now, according to data from SCDOT, there were 54 reported crashes to them over the last 5 years at this intersection. About half of those, a little bit less than half, were resulted in injuries or fatal crashes. Now, this has one of the highest crash rates in the state, officials say. Now, the South Carolina Department of Transportation will be using $13 million to improve this intersection and 17 others across the state. Now, they say they selected these intersections that have a high fatal and injury percent as far as crashes that are greater than the statewide average, and final candidate lists were sorted by crash rates and analyzed by traffic safety engineers. Now, one driver I spoke with who drives through this area a whole bunch says this is a very busy spot, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to make some improvements.
Occupied because you got the hospital right here, and you got churches, and like I said, it's so residential around here. It's just always something going on over here, man.
Now, as far as possible solutions, the South Carolina Department of Transportation says there are a variety of things they can do, including turning intersections into roundabouts, adding signals, and making improvements to pavement markings on the road. Now, you have a special role in making sure these intersections can be safer. The South Carolina Department of Transportation tells me they'll be asking for public input when it comes to making improvements at these intersections. Live in Columbia, Jason Raven, Live 5 News.
All right, Jason, thank you. For a full list of these intersections, head to our website, live5news.com, and look for the big red box.
Now, your first alert forecast from Live 5 News.
Hey everybody, Chief Meteorologist Bill Walsh. Hope you had a great one so far here on our Thursday, getting close to your weekend as we check out the low country's most powerful live radar. It's First Alert Super Doppler Max. And yeah, we're talking about some pretty quiet weather. Stephanie Sine throughout lunch and at 4 o'clock was talking about a few clouds trying to make their way on shore. But right now things are quieted down and we're looking at just really a nice peaceful afternoon for sure as we take a live look outside. Again, a beautiful picture right there. As you take a look over to Daniel Island, now sitting at 74 degrees. We got to, well, we didn't get the high yet, but we're not going to probably get to near normal. We'll probably be around normal, say 76, 77 for the high today. 64% humidity, east wind at about 10 miles per hour. 77 up in Somerville right now. As you look around the low country, 73 Cottageville, 74 over to beautiful North Charleston. How about Georgetown? Nice evening up that way. Should be a nice weekend. A few spotty showers maybe for the weekend, but looks good if you've got something going on up there. 72, Murrells Inlet, all the way back up toward Surfside, not to Kingstree, low 70, 74 at the Isle of Palms Marina, still about some low 70s back over to Cottageville. As we go hour by hour, the next couple hours, by 8 o'clock around 69, 9 o'clock 65, a few scattered clouds, 10 o'clock around 64 degrees. Overall, not too bad. On the weather map itself, again, high pressure's been keeping things pretty quiet right here. A few more clouds here and there on the warmer side. As we head into the weekend, we should stay pretty much where we are temperature-wise, maybe a couple degrees warmer, dry for tomorrow. And then this weather system is going to try to squeeze to the east. Probably a better chance next week as an area of low pressure develops here in the Gulf of Mexico. That will increase our chance of showers, I think, particularly beginning part of next week. But we can't rule out a stray shower into Saturday and Sunday, so that's going to be the deal. On Future Tracker, we of course start off 6 o'clock in the morning out the door. A few scattered clouds. I'll put the clock into motion. Look at this. By lunchtime, we're talking about partly cloudy skies. Not a bad looking lunch. Maybe a Bill Sharp lunch. What do you think? A 2 or 3 hour? 4 hour Bill Sharp lunch tomorrow as we put the clock into motion. How about this? 3 o'clock in the afternoon, not bad. But you know what happens tomorrow evening, right? We've got the Prepsters, high school football, Friday Night Lights. Kevin and Justin will be out there covering all the action, and by 7 o'clock, look at that. Looks pretty good for Friday night lights. Bottom line, our eye is always on your next 24 hours. 63 for the overnight. Again, just fair and quiet on the flip side. As we head on into tomorrow, a mixture of sun and clouds. We'll call it partly cloudy, 79, and should stay pretty dry as we head into tomorrow, and then warm into the weekend. That is for sure. Out to the waterways, winds are going to be east at about 10 to 15. We've got a tide that's going to be low a little bit after lunchtime at 12:10. The water temperature at 73. All right, we always start with your weekend first, right? Now let's talk about this upcoming weekend. Tomorrow, 79 degrees. Hard to believe tomorrow's Friday, right? Here, rolling into the weekend. Where's this week going, right? And Saturday and Sunday, we're looking at 80 on Saturday, 83 Sunday. That chance up to about 30% on Sunday, but not a giant chance over the weekend. It's going to be almost like a spring-like weekend. Some sun and clouds kind of mixing. Don't put off the beach trip, the boat, or the fishing trip, but just keep an eye to the sky here and there. And then as we deep dive into that 7-day, we talked about the weekend. Then next week, a 40% chance Monday. Back to work and school, a little better chance there as that moisture comes out of the Gulf of Mexico. That'll keep us a little bit unsettled into the beginning part of next week. Temperatures overall not looking too bad. And what about that drive home? We watch that right here, of course, starting with Abby O'Brien in the morning and right here with Stephanie. Hey, Steph.
Hey there, Bill. We're checking out some drive times right now. If you're about to head out, maybe to get some dinner, pick up the kids. 526 westbound, a little slow this afternoon, but nothing out of the ordinary. 36 minutes from Mount Pleasant to West Ashley, about 24 in the other direction. How about 26 where you're heading up the road to Somerville tonight? 29 minutes from the downtown area, so really not too bad whatsoever. Just one accident on the map for the afternoon commute here, and as we zoom on in, it's right along 26 westbound near exit 209, the Rivers Avenue exit. If you're heading out, drive safely.
The inauguration of the College of Charleston's new president is tomorrow. Andrew Shue was named for the role almost a year ago after an extensive search. He told Live 5 back in January he wants to make tuition at the downtown Charleston school more affordable. Shue officially took over as president in May. He says his vision is to improve the student experience.
And passionate about our students here, and I'm here to help our students.
Tomorrow's inauguration is at 3:30 in the afternoon in the Cistern Yard on the College of Charleston campus. You're certainly welcome to attend. Saturday, also National Drug Take-Back Day. South Carolina leaders want you to get rid of your unused or unwanted medications. Last year, Americans collected a record-breaking amount of prescription drugs, more than 930,000 pounds. Now, to give you an idea of how much that is, that weighs more than 3 Boeing 757s, by the way. To find a location to drop off medications, head to live5news.com and look for the big red box. One company opening a new luxury store in the middle of Manhattan. Why retail analysts say it's a huge gamble.